Do you ever find yourself in a situation where you are asked and forced maybe to take or choose a side, choose a position? And maybe within you, you don't really feel like you resonate with either. Or maybe you see that both sides are right and fine. And you feel like you do have a third, maybe, side, more neutral one, because you can understand both sides and you can see from the point of view of each and everyone that they are right from their point of view. Or maybe you feel like you are not concerned and you don't even want to engage with it because it's none of your business and you don't feel like you have to choose a side. This usually happens when we are dealing with friends. For example, you have two friends that have a fight about something, or a couple, because I don't agree with the fact that I do have to pick a side in order to be accepted and validated by someone or rejected by the other person and to sound like I'm doing the right thing. I believe in the fact that each and every one of us is entitled and do have the right to pick which side to take, even if you are not agreeing with any of the two sides that do exist in your circumstance. The fact that someone might force me to pick a side actually make me want to pick it less. And here is what I mean. There are wars happening right now. There are situations, political situations in so many countries. And I can see that in this moment of history, there are a lot of polarities, right? And you can notice that on both sides, people are really convinced, they do firmly believe that they are right and that the other one is wrong. And there is a constant, continuous fight, one against the other, to prove their point, to prove that they are right, without even giving the time and the opportunity to the other side to explain their point of view, to explain their perspective, and to also make their point. It's something that I find a little bit unfair because we forget very often that every one of us is unique. We forget that each and every one of us have a very unique perspective based on his own journey, his own luggage, his own belief system, and his way of seeing life and judging it and having his own opinion. And even though it's not coherent with the one we have, it doesn't match it, we need to really respect and honor the fact that they might be seeing things in a different way. And also be okay with the fact that it might be against and opposite to what is it that we are thinking. The point is, in my opinion, that we get lost in this part of the circumstances and we forget the most important thing, which is to do the right thing. Doing the right thing has nothing to do with you being right or you being wrong. It has all to do with the fact that you find a place where you are neutral, you are an observer, knowing the facts from all the sides and making your own opinion about it, making your own choice based on what you have seen and heard and your evaluation of a situation in order to determine for yourself whether you want to pick one of the two sides or also decide that you don't want to be engaging on it at all. Because maybe you think that it's a cause that is not worth fighting and it doesn't require anyone to pick a side. I remember when I was a kid, I was about 10 years old, and I found myself in a situation where two of my friends had a fight together. And everyone in our school, in our group friend, was expected to pick a side, to choose to be friend with one or the other. It wasn't possible to be with both. And at the beginning, I didn't feel it right to be picking a side because I could see that both are right. And I didn't feel like I have to choose one in spite of the other. I wanted to really be friend with both and to be hanging out with both because I do like them both and I do see great things in them. But there was a moment where they forced me. One of them started talking badly about the person. And I found myself talking with her about it. But after that, I felt guilty because I did it. So I went to my mother and I told her the story. And I asked her, what should I do in this situation? And I love the way that she guided me to take my decision. She asked me, "What do you feel about the situation and your two friends?" And I explained to her this point. And she told me, "Why did you engage in the conversation about the other person while she wasn't there to defend herself, or for you to be present in front of both persons and express your opinion loudly and confidently without feeling shame or guilt or fear?" And I started thinking about it. And I realized that I was somehow trying to manage the person, to please her, to avoid a fight with her, and I didn't want to find myself in the place of the other person because she had a strong position in this group. I explained this to my mother, and afterwards she told me, "I will give you just an advice, and you do whatever you feel right for you. First of all, is it confidential? That person asked me to keep it for myself. Second thing, if I say it to this person, knowing that 50% of the probabilities will be that they will repeat it to them and 50% they will keep it for them. But I need to be aware and accepting and acknowledging the fact that there is a possibility that it's going to be shared with the other person and it might be interpreted in a different way. Based on those two things, what is my answer? And based on that, I can decide for myself if I want to speak about it or not." She also explained me that when someone share with me a secret, something that is really confidential for them, and I know that if I share it with other people, it's going to have consequences on this person. Maybe it's going to provoke or create for them a source of shame, discomfort, or it's going to hurt them in any way. I need to be a very loyal friend, and even if we are not friends anymore, even if they hurt me, I need to commit to the secret, not to the person. And this is the right thing to do. To be loyal, to really respect that moment where that person trusted me with a secret that is really important for them and keep it for me forever until my death. And another thing was, you need to really be responsible of the words that come out of your mouth. When you are interpelled in a situation and you are asked to share your information or your opinion about someone, really make sure that you are able to say it in absence of them and in front of them, to assume it and to be convinced about it in order for you to make sure that you are telling a truth, and your truth for you is valid, and you will always maintain it and be okay if somebody else shares it. Those are lessons that I carried with me for all my life, and I keep carrying with me. And I can tell you that they saved me from so many troubles in my life. And I also have been able to gather around me people that are true, real friends to me. And no matter what happened, I will always protect what they share with me, no matter what. And I will not be gossiping about it or judging them about what they are saying. And I don't have to be picking a side, but I need to be picking the right side, doing the right thing based on what I consider to be the right thing to do, not the most popular person or to please someone or to avoid being rejected with someone, because those aren't the real reasons, the true reasons for which you pick a side. A true reason for which you pick a side is a reason that you have been thinking about and you do share the values and the principles, and you will be able and ready to engage in it and defend it. And if you consider all of this and you do not agree with what is said or done, and I don't want to be picking any side because I don't think that I need it, in this case, I am free to not pick a side. Why do I tell you this? I tell you this because ultimately there are a lot of very delicate situations happening in the world. And I have noticed that very often when you don't express your opinion about it, when you don't pick a side, or maybe you pick a side, you will be judged very harshly from one of the two. And they will probably reject you and maybe punish you or treat you bad and offend you because you didn't pick their side. And it's a very dangerous attitude towards people, towards events and circumstances. Because in my opinion, it forces you to be engaging in fights, in wars, in discomfort, and fighting against yourself and your own opinion. Because you are afraid that if you express your opinion, you might be rejected or maybe pay the price very high. And it made me meditate a lot about it and wonder, how is it that we can find a comfortable place for us in a world where the polarity is the master, where people are all focused on one side or the other, and they are having a hard time acknowledging that in life it's not black or white, it's a million of perceptions, millions of stories, millions of beliefs. Everyone do have the right to have his own version of the story. Every one of us do have the right to tell his own story based on his experiences and to share it. And if you don't agree with what someone is experiencing, it doesn't mean that his experience is less valuable than yours. It just means that you can agree to disagree. Starting to learn to be open-minded, starting to be more in a place where we don't judge, but we observe, we make our opinion, and we don't make it based on what others said or what the media are telling or what any stranger in the street might tell you, but base it on a deep research about the topic you want to talk about and really go in deep to understand all the sides and make your own opinion based on informations that are reliable, not on a trailer that you see somewhere on social media or on what someone said. When someone is interacting with you and he is talking badly about someone or asking you things about that person that you might know and they don't know, before you speak, think very wisely and deeply about it and ask yourself what I know and what I want to share, because we need to really check our resources. We need to check the information before we start giving it our attention, our energy, our emotions, and our well-being, before hurting other people and hurting ourselves, before creating more disconnection between us human beings. I think it's really important, rather than judging, rather than making decisions or picking a side, it's really important to start educating ourselves, to start asking the right questions to ourselves, to start having that inner reflection, to start becoming a leader of our life and our choices and where we want to be setting and position it, what we want to engage with. We need to start really asking the right questions for ourselves, questions that are more productive, that will really guide us and help us find the answers that we are looking for, rather than questions that will trap us in challenges, in problems, in conflictual situations. And it's maybe very important also to stop judging the intentions of others and assuming that we do know what others think or what are their intentions, because we will never be able to really know what are the intentions of someone when they do something and why they are doing it. The only thing we can be sure of is what are we thinking and what is our perception, what is our intention. I think it's really important to be mindful and be self aware. Yes, because whenever you are going to find yourself in a place where there will be the pressure, maybe of a huge crowd of people forcing you to pick a side, it's important for you to take a step back and give that space to yourself to protect yourself, and from self awareness, understand who do you want to be in that moment? What do you want to believe about it? What do you want to feel about it? And it's by simply being present, hearing and observing what is going on, and asking yourself the good questions that will get you to answers, rather than why did he do that, and why is he so wrong, or what is wrong with him, or he do have a problem. This is a focus on the problem. This is a focus on a part, on a very small angle of the situation or the circumstance, when in reality, any circumstance that you are in, any person that you are dealing with, any condition that you are facing in your life is not only what you are seeing. It is really more than that. There is a bigger picture. There is a whole movie around it. And we cannot judge the book from its cover, even though a lot of people do that and we do function this way. But it's not because everybody is doing it that it's the right thing to do. We need to really be careful and pay attention. Our perception of one thing and what is the actual reality of the thing. And to do so, we need to get out from our bubble and get out from our own system of perception and beliefs and reasoning about life and interpreting it, to first of all understand what is the actual way we are processing the thing and interpreting it, and then understand what is happening. What is happening, what are we seeing and experiencing, what is the circumstance, and what is happening within us. What are the emotions that are showing up on that moment? And why do we feel them? Why do we have that definition of that thing? Where is it coming from? Is it a definition that I do have for myself and I made from a place of awareness and consciousness and understanding? Or is it a definition or a perception that I inherited from others, where I am following the crowd and not being the leader of my own life and my own thoughts? And you don't always have to be picking a side. That need to be your choice. If you really want to be picking any side, it's your choice. And you don't have to force everyone to be in your side and to see things like you for them to be accepted by you or rejected. Because we are in a world, we are in a life, we are in a universe where everything and everyone is really unique. We might act and behave as if we are similar, as if there is the majority and the minority, as if there is the trend, there is the leader and the follower, there is the influencer, there is what is trend and everybody should be doing or must be doing. And this is not what actually is our life. We are very unique individuals and we really do have very unique perceptions. And we cannot be having the same perception with someone else. It might sound like it is from our understanding of it, but this doesn't mean that it is. So maybe I would invite us, and me included, to always remind ourselves that whenever we are assuming or interpreting the intentions of someone we are dealing with from far or from closest to us, we don't know people, not even the closest person to you. You believe that you know someone, but you only know the version of him that you are perceiving. This also applied to you as a person and what others are perceiving. So whenever someone is telling you something about yourself, remind yourself that their judgment is just their perception And it's up to me to choose how to interpret it and whether to take it personally or not. But I need to do it from a place where I know myself. I know what are my values. I know what I stand for. I know what I don't stand for. I know what are my principles and I know what are my beliefs. But I'm also willing to be flexible, to be willing to understand. Because when you know that every person is unique, you cannot pretend to know their intentions, and you cannot judge them based on that or decide for them what are their intentions and what they are their feelings and what they are ready to hear from you or not ready to hear from you. That is not your place. Yes, I don't agree with the fact that we must be choosing a side. And if we ever feel like we need to, we'd better choose our side, not somebody else's side. And remember that when people don't understand where you are coming from, it doesn't mean that where you are coming from is wrong. It just means that they don't know where you are coming from and they don't understanding. They are simply making their conclusions and their judgment based on their own perception. So don't take it personally and stand up for yourself. That is very important. Always stand up for yourself and bear in mind that we are very unique individuals and we do have each and every one of us our own unique perception of whatever is happening. And it's not about who is right or who is wrong, it's more about understanding why is everyone believing what he is believing? Where is he coming from? If we understand this, it's going to make life more simple for us and it will improve also our interactions and our relations. It will also help us filter from our life the people that are not aligned and that might be, how can I say, that might be not a good fit for us or right for us. And it's fine, and you can make peace with that as well, because we are not meant to be loved and accepted by everyone. Some people might not be really positive and good for us, and thankfully life have its own way to filter it for us without us having to hurt people or to do things that aren't really kind or being aggressive or skeptical or being doubtful or afraid. We need to be in a place where we trust ourselves, trust our own opinion of anything, and pick the side that is good for us and which is our side, our own unique version of any story and interpretation of any circumstance. Remembering that life is neutral on it, honestly, and whatever is happening in life is basically, and to start with, at its core, really neutral. And we get to create a meaning around it, to create a story around it, and to feel something about it. And that is where our power and freedom of choice and the power of will are gonna play their role. When you want to choose or pick a side, just remember this. We don't pick sides to please people or to be accepted for someone or because we are scared to be rejected by someone, but we need to pick them because they are right for us and we do agree with them based on our own observation. Basically, I can tell you that my intention in this video is just to remind you and also remind myself how important it is to become self-aware. And whenever we are dealing with any situation or person, it's really important to make our opinion from a place of understanding and knowing, not from a place of pleasing someone else or sounding right for others or being accepted by others. we need to be accepted by ourselves and validate ourselves rather than trying to be validated by anyone. And I can imagine how difficult it could be, especially when we are in a world where opinion of others of us is playing a big role, even when we try hard to not make it that big of a deal. And that's why I do have a video where I go through why do we care about others' opinion of us and how to stop caring about it. I invite you to watch it also. I am sure it's going to be helpful. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more content similar to it, I invite you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done yet, and to click the like button and maybe leave us a comment to let me know if you agree with picking a side or not. What is your opinion about that? If you are someone that do believe that you have to pick a side, and what is your parameter and your criteria to pick your side and to do the right thing. I really hope this video have been insightful for you, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Have a very pleasant day. Much love.